You can say what you want, and there's this dad bod movement and all of this rubbish, but the reality is, like, when we look at people who are in shape, we are normally attracted to them. If nothing else, we respect them. And the reason that is, hi guys, how are we? For those of you new here, I'm a psychology student trained to be a therapist, so on this channel we talk about positivity, mindset, well-being, mental health and all things like that. So if that sounds of interest, stick around. Today I wanted to talk about the importance of being in shape. Now, this shouldn't really be a controversial or groundbreaking thing to say, that it's better for physical and mental side of things to be fit, healthy and in good physical condition. However, in this day and age, apparently that is a weird thing to say, so I wanted to back it up with a little bit of personal experience mixed with just some facts basically. Being fit and healthy is literally life-changing. Like I said, it changes everything about you physically and mentally, and I just want to clarify what I mean when I say in shape specifically. Being in shape doesn't mean being a bodybuilder. It also doesn't mean running a marathon every week or doing anything extreme. It doesn't mean never eating anything unhealthy ever in your life, never having a sip of alcohol or any of these extreme things. Being in shape and being healthy is about looking after your body physically. In many ways, how your body actually, like the physical shape of your body, doesn't matter so much. What is important about being in shape is about the habits and processes that you've gone through to get there. Body shape wise and physically, we all look different. That's just how it is. You can have professional athletes who maybe don't necessarily look the part, but at the same time they clearly do seriously look after themselves, because they wouldn't be professional athletes otherwise. Likewise, if you go on Instagram and you look at all the guys in the gym, they all are big, strong blokes, but they're still all shaped differently. That's just how it is. We all have different muscles at different lengths and everything like that. That's just different people. The point isn't necessarily what you look like. Being in shape and being healthy is about how you look after your body. The way I describe personally being in shape is three things: some form of resistance training, some form of cardiovascular exercise, and a good diet. And when I say a good diet, that means as good as possible. Doesn't need to be 100%, doesn't even need to be 70-80% really, but it's about being conscious about what you're putting in your body for how it physically works and what you're doing to yourself. Obviously, I'm always going to recommend lifting weights because I find it really fun. I'm also actually really enjoy running, but going for long walks as well. So in terms of resistance training and cardio, those are those two things carried off. You don't even need to run. Like, if you're going for an hour's walk every day, that's pretty much it. Like, in terms of actually keeping your heart healthy and your mind healthy and everything like that, that's pretty much all you need to do, especially if you can do that sort of in nature. If you're going through woods or a field or anything like that, an hour a day is more than enough. That's pretty much, combined with what you do for the rest of the day, I'm guessing that's going to be 10,000 steps, which is really all you need to do. Of course, resistance training can be stuff in the gym, which, like I said, I personally love, but it can just be push-ups. Some people, I know certainly like some older guys that I know that were maybe in the army and stuff like that, when they've never really been gym people, but they'll just get up and they'll do however many pull-ups, however many sit-ups and however many push-ups every morning, and that resistance keeps their bones strong, keeps their muscles strong, and that's that, and that is more than enough. And you can, if you look, especially in people's posture, you can often really see people that do some sort of resistance training and people that don't. It's about how your muscles form and how your bones grow, basically. You guys know this isn't like a sciencey or even like a gym channel or anything like that. This is about your brain and your mind and what it does to you. And I think the biggest thing about being in shape, and one of the reasons that we're so attracted to people that are in physical good condition, and like, you can say what you want, and there's this dad bod movement and all of this rubbish, but the reality is, like, when we look at people who are in shape, we are normally attracted to them. If nothing else, we respect them. And the reason that is, besides sort of all the discipline and everything like that, which we can sort of come on to, it's a sign of self-respect to yourself. You see that bloke at the bar who's clearly 10 pints down, hasn't stepped foot in the gym in years, doesn't even shave, probably hasn't changed his clothes or showered. You look at him and you just go, he has no respect for himself. He has no care about anything. And maybe that's a separate issue, maybe there's reasons for that. But at the same time, in terms of you looking after yourself, not even thinking about other people, taking physical care of your body is one of the nicest things you can do for yourself. And I'll talk a bit about in a minute about this. Again, I think complete nonsense, this self-love of sitting in front of the TV and eating ice cream when you're sad. Like, I'll talk about that in a minute. But reality, the best thing you can actually do, whatever state you're in, whatever mindset you're in, anything like that, whatever stage of life you're in, the best thing you can do is make your body as healthy as possible, because there is no way that is ever going to backfire on you and let you down. Yes, if you're lifting extreme weights or doing extreme marathons, you might get injured. If you go for a run, you might trip over and hurt your knee. Okay, it could hurt you that way. But let's be serious, let's be real. Looking after yourself, eating properly, training, I don't even want to say properly, just doing something, just getting your body moving, getting outdoors, that you are never going to go for a walk and come back feeling worse. Like, you're just not. That's not how we're designed. As human beings, paleo wiring and everything like that, we are so designed to be physically active and like outdoors. Like, it's only in like the last 100 years, if that this 9 to 5 sitting behind a desk thing became a thing. People didn't do that. You had a manual job, or you were really, really rich and could afford not to. Those were the two options. People didn't really sit in offices with computers and stuff like that. We are used to moving all day, all the time. That's how our bodies are designed. Like I said, I want to talk about sort of my experience personally. Like, I've had such a weird journey, because any of you who've been watching my channel for a while, you know I was born with something. I've had 4 open heart surgeries. So in terms of where I started physically, besides completely drawing the genetic short, not athletic, heart problem, all of that rubbish, right? I started a lot further back than other people did in terms of physical development. And that's not a complaint, that's not a moan. My point is, the reason my journey's been weird is because I had to do so much physical and mental battling just to, frankly, still be here, but like to be able to do normal things. Like the fact that I can go for walks and stuff like that wasn't something that was guaranteed at one point. So it was very easy for me, and I did get to the stage where it was like, well, I survived basically, so I'm chilling. I don't really need to do anything, and never sort of push my body onto the next level. And even over the last sort of 5 years or so, when I found sort of self-development and really started to think about my health and everything like that, even that time it's been such an up and down battle when we had the lockdowns and stuff like that. But the last 6 months, and certainly sort of the last 3 months and everything like that, sort of I've lost quite a lot of weight. I'm really thinking more about my diet and stuff like that, and it genuinely is life-changing. I physically feel lighter. Like, it sounds ridiculous, but I feel lighter as a human being. Like, you just notice it's tiny little things, not even just clothes fitting and things like that, but like I feel more how I was designed to be. Like, my body is closer to what it would have been in paleo times when it was evolving, everything like that. Having that lower body fat percentage, being like, I'm not even particularly strong. I don't like bodybuild or anything like that, but like I enjoy getting up and going to the gym and lifting weights and everything like that, and just everything that's brought me. It's something that no amount of like money could have bought. It's nothing that I could have got from sitting and watching hours of Netflix or anything, or eating ice cream or anything like that. Like, yeah, those do bring you joy. Like, we're all human beings, but the actual sustained feeling of I am looking after myself and I'm proud of what I've done with the body I've got. I'm living a healthy life. Like, you can't buy that, and you just can't replicate it. Something that actually inspired this video, and it's really annoying because I completely forgot who it was, but it was a professional athlete. I'm talking like a Premier League, it was either a Premier League footballer or Premier League rugby player, so sort of a serious athlete. And even he was saying, like, I can directly track my form in my career with how I was looking after my body. And he's like, again, I was a professional athlete. I was like, well, I'm here now. Like, I'm obviously strong enough. Like, and he was like, no. When I actually, I had a final or a start pre-season or something like that. He's like, no, I'm gonna massively cut back on how much I'm drinking. I'm gonna start eating properly and stuff like that. And he was like, I dropped my body fat percentage. I got physically fitter, like, and I was sat there thinking I had nowhere else to go in terms of fitness wise, because I was a professional athlete. But even I had slacked off, and my form basically directly followed it. He said not because I was a better footballer or rugby player, but he said I just felt so much better in myself and that made me play better. And if professional athletes can get themselves to a higher level and perform better, think what you can do. Circling back to the self-love thing, I know this is a massive debate and like there is more than one way of looking at it, of course there is. And I think there sometimes, very, very rarely, but I sometimes do think there is a time for the cookies and Ben and Jerry's crying in front of the TV. Like, there maybe is a time for that. But the way I always look at it is, do the good thing first. Rather than cracking open a Ben and Jerry's and sit in front of the TV, go for an hour walk with your phone on aeroplane mode. Download a couple of podcasts or download 2 favourite playlists. Go for a walk with your phone on aeroplane mode. No bothers, nothing. Even if it's pouring with rain, put a hat on, whatever. Just be in nature. Maybe even without headphones, if you're that bold. I'm not quite that bold. Like, I love a podcast, but like, just get outside and do so. If you come back after that, I mean, you will feel better. It's impossible not to. But if you go, do you know what? I've done that. Now I just want to I want to let it all out and just cry on the sofa with an ice cream or whatever. If you need to do that, you need to do that. But don't do that instead of, because what you need to understand is that crying with the ice cream isn't going to make you feel better. It may be a source of comfort, but it is not actually going to do anything for you. The walk or going to the gym or whatever, that will do something for you. Calling a friend, journaling, those things will do something for you. And then if after that you just want to have a silly whatever bit of time to yourself just to completely let it all out, who am I to tell you not to? My channel is the only thing I'd ever say to completely cut out would be cigarettes and drugs. That's literally it. Everything else is about cutting back. I would never be a hypocrite and say never drink alcohol, never have caffeine, never eat a pizza, because I do those things. But I just consciously do those things a lot less than I used to, and I do them as little as I can. And funny enough, they mean a hell of a lot more when they do. I've accidentally not drunk since my birthday. By the time I have my next social event, I probably won't have drunk for 2 months. Think what that first Guinness is going to taste like. It's going to be biblical. Like, but it means more. It means more, and I feel better for looking after myself, and I think you will too. Thank you for making it all the way to the end. I do appreciate you guys who stick around. If you did find any of it useful, please do consider liking and subscribing. I drop 2 of these every week, so you don't want to miss them. Like I said, subscribe and hit the bell thing. I said before, I don't actually know what it does, but all the other YouTubers say it. My socials are in the description. Would much appreciate a follow on Instagram. I've posted on there daily for quite a while now, but I didn't want to actually sort of say it until I'd really got into the rhythm of it. But I'm putting like a reel up every day. I put my stories up every day, so go drop that a follow if you want to ask any questions or anything like that. And I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care, guys.